Welcome to In Conversation with Koketso Mapilela. Thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy.
Right. So now okay, I'm probably gonna have to cut this part because yeah. But yeah, I really do like what you're saying because I think a lot of the times I have this thing with energy, mainly energy, like where I get overstimulated as well at times and I'm just like I zone out. I just want to get rid of everyone's energy, not just like you
Mm,
know, I don't know, I don't even know what to call it, but if I'm out because I'm both like introverted and extroverted, I'm well, we most humans are ambiverts. So I really do take in energy. I get energy from being by myself. Like I get energy from being in my own space. You know,
mm,
when I go out and I'm with people, I don't know. I sense all the energies, like no lies.
mm,
I I I don't know. It's like it's a struggle at times when you with people, and I do like as you were talking. I remembered this one time when I was in primary school. I really didn't understand like why I'm really excited to be with my friends. I was excited for this day. I'm here, and now I'm like I'm so tired. I don't want to be here.
yes.
Like
Yes.
I would just like zone out and just like, and that's something that continued even as, I was growing and stuff, being the person that I am today. And I remember like at times I felt the need to always explain that if I'm quiet, I'm not mad at you. I just want you to know I'm
Yes.
not mad. I'm just in my own space, and I've
Mm,
really been fortunate enough to have found friends and have made friends with people who understood that if I just stay quiet, it's okay. Like you didn't
mm,
do anything wrong. If we're traveling and you like, if you want to sleep, again, I guess with friendships as well. If you want to sleep while we're on the KTX, my darling, sleep you know,
mm,
um, if we are somewhere, if we are out and I feel tired, I want to be able to say, okay, I want to leave. Are you okay with me leaving? As long as I'm letting you know and I'm not just like disappearing and you don't know where I am,
yeah.
like
Mm,
I just want to go right now. And not having, like you saying, people have that, oh, you're being a party pooper right now. Like, what is going on?
mm,
Because it does become a struggle when you are taking in everyone's energy. And of course, it doesn't happen with people that I'm not interacting with. It usually happens when, you in a setup where you have to engage with people that are around you. I just get so tired and I'm like, okay, and people don't expect it from me. Like you talk, you always look so, and I'm like, if I told you right now that I'm dead tired, would you believe me? And at times it
mm,
doesn't show because I'd still look like I'm all energetic and stuff. And people will look at you like, what do you mean you're tired? Like, what Tomila, like, Pala, she thinks she's better than everyone. Oh, yes, Chela Lona, like, wait,
yeah. Hey.
like, it has got nothing to do with you, and I really appreciate people who can extend grace to me to be
Mm,
like, yeah, okay, right now she's not feeling up to wherever, at the level that we know she can get to. Um, and it's really okay. And I hope that also people who sometimes tend to experience such things that, or know people who go through such, do extend them grace because there is so much about life and our friends that we really don't have like Kitaring, like that thing where you're supposed to be in control of how other people are feeling and how they show
mm,
up in certain spaces or how they, you know, show up for themselves. Because at the end of the day, me being quiet or you being able to say to your friends that I just need to go back, like that is, something that a person would, I would appreciate that. I would appreciate that rather than having you drag yourself through a day and it's just horrible. You're struggling, like you're suffering through it. So what is the point? Why would you have someone or want your friend to have to go through something like that? So thank you for sharing that part. That was like, I really did connect with that even more. Because I was like, that is a real thing. It really is a real thing. Being able to be like, I think I've shut down right now. Well, with me, it's me shutting down because I'm like, okay. Sepelile, sepelile. Like, thank
It
you.
is.
It was not.
But it is.
But yeah.
Like even outside of ADHD, mental health is very important. Things like that, people get mentally exhausted. It's very important to take care of your mental health. Like you don't always need a diagnosis for people to understand that your mind gets tired, your mind gets sick sometimes. These are things that happen. We need to stop sighing away from that conversation because it's one that needs to be had constantly so that it's no longer such a taboo thing to be like, you know what? My mind is a little bit sick right now and I need some time to myself. I need to go heal. So I think it's important, so important.
It really is. And I thank you so much for also, you know, being vulnerable enough to share this experience that you've had and being able to just, you know, shine a light on a subject that a lot of people, I don't know, do you think people are still closed-minded about talking about mental health?
I think so. And I will say this because I am in Korea and it can be a little bit taboo here, but also thinking about home, South Africa, I think there are certain, I feel like in our Black communities, it's very difficult to talk about these things without being labeled as Litanya. We're afraid of that term.
Yep.
We view suicide, and I don't mean to get dark, but it is something that happens due to a mental health condition through, you know. So we view suicide as a sign of weakness instead of like, wow, people need help. I think there is progress, but it's still not something that's widely spoken about without some sort of stigma. There is still a stigma attached to mental health. It's, I mean, even coming here to talk about my own struggle is very hard for me because I'm like, oh, now it's going to be out there. Now people are going to know that. People who know me that are going to know that didn't know. The strangers that are going to know. Is that going to affect how people view me? I'm worried about that. Like, is my employer going to see this? I mean, I have told some close colleagues, but I don't know if my employer sees it. Are they going to feel really? I mean, I don't think I'm going to get fired, obviously, but there is a certain way that people view you,
True.
you know, and so there is still a stigma attached to it. Let me not just say our Black communities, just generally, there is a stigma attached to having. Yeah. Yeah. So, because you think about the broad spectrum of mental health issues. I have ADHD. I don't think it's a light subject, but compared to maybe schizophrenia and things like that, you think of that and how we just don't recognize that it's just the mind being sick. We're so quick to stigmatize it. Like people can't come out and say, people are afraid of applying for certain jobs because if I have to reveal this about myself, I might not get it and stuff like that's still a thing that's ongoing. When I apply for jobs and there's that little box that you have to check, I'm always like, I'm gonna take it and then they're gonna be like, no. Why? Like, because they say that they don't, but then we think about it, it's like they do. They do judge you based on that. They do. So
That's a lot to carry.
I think I think I'm just someone who just likes to joke around about stuff. So even if it is heavy,
Mm.
there's still some goodness to be found in it. You know, I can still make jokes and be like, my mind is upside down. So that
Me being me,
mean,
I'd probably be analyzing you. What are you, Kamo? And when I say it's heavy, I mean like it's heavy to carry the worry of how are people going to view me? How are people gonna interact with me? People who didn't know. What are they gonna, you know, not that you're really concerned about what are they going to see me like now, are they going to treat me differently, but I also think there's also like liberty in being able to speak about it. And if someone had, well, at least that's my mindset, if someone treats me differently because of something that I have been vulnerable enough to share about something that I struggle with, or a journey that I was on, or a journey that I'm on, honestly speaking, yes, I might be hurt, or I might, feel a little somehow, but I do feel that it does show me who you are also as a person, and kind of helps me know where to place you in my life. Because if that's something that I can't openly speak about, like you're saying, we tend to also do that thing of, oh, ADHD is not as bad as schizophrenia, oh, it's not like bipolar, but then at the same time, it's like, but it's still my struggle. It's still something that I struggle with. So I don't have to demean it or put it at a lower scale simply because there's something that is bigger. Because I think that's also something that does affect our communities and our society in general, where, yes, I can see someone else's struggle and have that, like, I don't know, we are taught to be like, you have it better. Look at that person. You are not going through this and that. And I'm supposed to be happy somehow. But it's like, I can't be happy because I'm still struggling with this. And I need to also get the tools. I need to be able to understand how to navigate it. Like, what can I do to help myself? Because simply being like, hey, Gamo has it worse, far off than I do, it doesn't change the fact that I still have a struggle. My struggle is still there. And it really breaks my heart when I see things like that happen, when we take our own battles and, I'm like, oh, I'm going to make it a little smaller because someone else has it harder. And yes, sometimes it is good to be like in a situation where, yes, I don't have this, but let me be grateful in this moment. But while being grateful, find yourself a solution that, it really doesn't remove your struggle, guys. And I think that's where, like you're saying, people died by suicide because you just suppressed everything. You kept, everything shoved down, and now in June, this is it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
And it had been something that I found, like reading through things that I would love to share, thinking about, my gosh, actually, I had been doing it for years, actually, sharing, stuff about how not just men, well, specifically Black men. Of course, most men do have, this is for all men, but I know more about Black men, African men, because that's the community and society that I grew up in. Seeing how, I don't know how we don't actually see it, that it really is painful. In as much as it's an old saying, it's something that is still very prevalent in today's society. I don't think it's just back home, but I'll speak about back home because that's what I know more. But I think it's something that goes around, different nations, where they'll be like, "Ngwana moshimane ha lle," like a boy child shouldn't cry. You should be strong. You should man up. And I find that so unfair. I find it so unfair because I'm like, okay, so we expect these Black men, I'll speak about Black men. We expect these Black men to grow up being men who are Like now, if we think about it, like, yo, I don't want a man who's emotionally unavailable. I don't want a man who can't speak his mind. I don't want a man who can't da 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 da. Like the list goes on. It's like, okay, but who taught them how to do any of those things? Let's start
Exactly.
with the moment this boy was a boy, he was told, no, you can't be a boy. You have to be a man. And in being told you have to be a man, the only thing that you are told that is shoved up on you, is shoved down your throat, is that you cannot cry. You cannot cry because that shows weakness, but it's okay for your little sister to cry. She's a girl. And we then wonder why in our society there's just this dynamic where a woman is, in as much as we get all these things that we get, we acquire these degrees, you acquire this experience in your workspace, you still have that thing that hangs over you of like you being too vulnerable. Like you're a weak person, and I'm a strong person. And it's like these two beings who cannot come together to actually really understand each other because one was taught you cannot be emotional. The other one was taught it's okay to be emotional. Now, when we try to come together, it's like, I don't understand you. I don't understand you because you don't understand me. You don't listen to me. And it's like, okay, so now I am 30 years old, I'm 32, I'm 34, and I'm expected to be emotional? Like I'm expected to accommodate emotions when all my life I've lived my life being told, no, you cannot.
Suppress.
Don't do it, suppress it, And that really, me just thinking about, I was actually having a conversation about this with my friend, a few weeks ago, telling her that, yeah, in as much as all these things have come up back, like Kohai, where they'll say, okay, bring a girl child to work. There's just been that space that has been missing for the boy child, and I'm like, I don't have children yet, but I know that that is not how I would want me and my husband. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I don't want to know. I don't want to be a single mom. So that is not how
I know.
me and my husband raising our son. And in as much as it's something that people will be like, oh, you're thinking too far off, that is something that I look for, or I observe, not look for, I observe it in, the guys that I go on dates with, a person that I will be, or I might be in a relationship to be like, will you be able to allow our son, if we had a son, to express themselves emotionally? Because I think the way I would teach a boy child to be vulnerable and to be emotional, to be able to handle the emotions, it's definitely going to be different from how a man would be able to do that. So there's just always that, thing that I've felt in our kohai at home in South Africa. There is and has, I know some people have been doing, and organizations have been trying to fill in the gaps, to be like, yes, we focused on the girl child a lot. And yes, people say, like my friend said, but maybe friend, we focusing on the girl child because they have been missing. I'm like, yes, but these are both, the boy and the girl, they are children. So you can't move the attention from the one and give it to the other and then expect that this one will be able to understand how everything works, and like my dad says, that something that grows on its own is wild. If it's not taught and if it's not raised how to, then it is wild. So we are somehow kind of doing that as a society, to let boy children grow up to, well, not allow them to be boys and to just be like, go, you're a man, be a man, do this.
Yeah, it's like we forget that they're human. They're just human. Humans have emotions. They have a full spectrum of emotions. Whatever you go through, hurt, pain, confusion, mental health, whatever you're going through, a man goes through that too. A boy child goes through that too. We forget the human aspect of it. They're not machines.
They
They're
are
not
not
machines.
machines, and we have really taken away the human aspects from the boy child, which leads to the men that we get to experience in our society. So yeah,
That
like
is
it's
true.
been June. I know this will probably only come out in July, because we are at the end of June. But I just really felt that since we are talking about mental health, this is probably something to also shed a bit of light on, because mental health is such a serious I don't even want to say thing, but aspect of our lives. It really, I feel, occupies the rest of it, because, and when I mean the rest of it, I'm like, the physical is here, but the spiritual and the mental, we don't see them as much, but they are what inform the physical, so not really paying much attention to it really does do a disservice to us as people. And I'm happy that you have started the conversation about this on my in my space. I really do appreciate
Yeah.
that. Um yeah, I have a question for you if you don't want to say anything at
Okay.
the moment.
Yes, please hit me with the questions. I love questions.
Yes. So, in your journey, right, of becoming, which parts of you do you feel you had to let go of?
The parts of me that, well, okay, let me not put it that way. I had to forgive myself for not knowing better. So I had to let go of the part of myself that wanted to be perfect, that judged myself based off of how everyone else functions. There was a lot of forgiving that I had to do and be like, you know what? Yes, you didn't achieve this or do this in such a way that other people would. You didn't achieve it in the same amount of time, maybe. But now you know why. Let go. Let go. Sever that part of yourself. Stop feeling guilt and a sense of deep failure. So I had to let go of that part of myself. Like, that's why I say, like, the journey of becoming is a lot of deaths and births, versions of yourself. So I had to, and that was, it's really hard to kill that part of yourself. To be like, I need to allow a new me to grow with the knowledge that I have now. Because you want to hold on so much to the past, like, I could have, I should have, maybe, but now I know better. I need to let go of that. So that's what, yeah, I had to let go of. The part of myself that was holding on to this idea of who I had to be or who I needed to be, instead of understanding this is how I am, this is how I do things. Now let's move forward with this new knowledge and information. That's what I would say.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. I really,
Thank you.
it is beautiful, because honestly, a lot of us do, apart from your journey, that's something that I think would resonate with a lot of people in their own journeys, that forgive yourself, remove and let go of the guilt of whatever it is that you're going through at a point in time. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is beautiful.
And well, I do want to say that in me sharing this, I'm really hoping that someone else will watch this, and even if they don't have ADHD, but really be inspired, you know, and take from it what they can and really make something of it, because our mental health is so important. Like, do something with this information. If you're tired, take a break. If you think you have ADHD, I will say, though, consult a professional. Don't take up.
Don't diagnose yourself.
Don't diagnose yourself. Go to a doctor, see a professional. And not everything I'm saying is like, not, in fact, nothing I'm saying is medically, should be taken as medical advice. Like, what I want to say. Yes.
This is your
Go get
journey.
yourself checked out. This is my journey of becoming. So in your journey of becoming, I hope you're inspired by my story. I hope you take from the story and make something of it in your life. You know, if you do suspect yourself of having ADHD or any mental health condition, please do something about it. Please.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yes.
And the last question, we're gonna be wrapping this up soon.
Yeah.
So if you were to be the Kamo that you as a person had envisioned, right? We know we've spoken about the point of no arrival. Like we don't get to that point of arrival. However, at the same time, if you were at that point of this is the Kamo, the better Kamo that I'm getting to experience in this lifetime, what is it that you would say to that Kamo about the former Kamo?
So let me get this straight. So what would I say to my the ideal version of myself?
If you
As me
were
now.
already your ideal version of yourself.
If I was already at the ideal version of myself, what would I say to me now?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Huh. I think maybe the ideal version of me, or how I picture myself, I would say, calm down. Don't be anxious. Just let your evolutionary process take its course. Trust in the process, and you will become who you are meant to be in whatever phase or season you're in. Because I think the ideal version of myself is at peace and is calm. And I'm not calm and peaceful right now. I'm always anxious. I'm still actually at a point where I'm understanding myself. So there's a lot of angst there that I feel like when I picture myself as this perfect me. I'm kidding, not perfect me, but like the ideal version of myself, she would be peaceful. And I don't want to speak about like material things, external stimuli. She'd just be at peace where she is and embrace the evolutionary process. So yeah, definitely be calm, relax, chill, take chill.
With love, like be gracious to yourself. Extend that grace to you. Oh, wow.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much, Kamo. Like my heart is so full right now. There's so much that's going
Really?
in my head.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I
Thank
really
you for giving me the platform.
thank you.
Thank you for giving me the
accepting
platform.
invitation. I really appreciate
It is an absolute pleasure. I don't know where else I would have spoken about this, and it is something that needs to be spoken about. Thank you for being vulnerable with me, creating an environment where I'm able to share freely without fear of judgment or anything. So thank you so much. You're such a wholesome person.
No, Kamo. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you
Oh,
so much. Thank you so much. I've always really loved talking to you. From when I had my own many things, I was just like, it was a breath of fresh air to be able to just let it all out, talking to you in different cafes and restaurants and just like having you just be there and listen. And we are both just like talking and being vulnerable. That is something I've always cherished. I think I still do cherish it. So yeah, it was something that also made me be like, actually, let's have a conversation with Kamo. Let's hear what Kamo has to say. Whatever she has to say, I know it's going to be good. And indeed, thank you so much.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate this so much. And I always knew I wanted to be your friend ever since I met you the first time. I remember constantly, and I know, like, I don't know if people know this, but like, it was very weird for me to ask you to be my friend in the boss room at church because I was just like,
I remember that.
I was just like, Kageta, is that you? I really like to be your friend. Very weird, very Kamu-esque.
No, I was just like, brave girl. I actually did that to someone. Like, hey, I want to be your friend.
It's so hard to ask that. Why is that so hard to do? Like, you have to come out of yourself and be like, I want to be your friend, but I don't want to seem desperate. It's so hard.
And maybe it's because we've never really had to shell out our friends. It's others who always have to be shelling
Yes.
us to be like, can you be my boo? Can you be? So we don't really,
Yes.
we don't get to experience that struggle of someone might reject me from me just saying, hey, can you be my friend?
Yes. Yes. And I think it hurts more if someone rejects your friendship offer than a romantic one.
Of course.
Because I feel like it somehow feels like they're rejecting me as a
As a
person,
person.
personhood. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why it's hard. Yeah.
Oh, Kamo, thank you so much. I hope I'll have you again here. We are running out of time.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. And to all our listeners, to all my listeners, Kamo's people, my people, if you've heard this and you really do feel like there's something that you have learned, please do comment and share with your people. And even if you don't do that, I do really hope there's something that you were able to take away from this. Thank you, guys.
Bye.